Peace, family. You know, Donald Trump been talking about how all these countries have been kissing his backside to make a deal with America. Well, finally, the United Kingdom signed a deal. Donald Trump then ran to his social media site. Now he's putting up there, you know, I want all the speculation to stop now. Y'all been begging for a deal. Well, here it is. Stop doubting them. You're an idiot. Everybody knows it but you. You know, and Kamala Harris said during the campaign that Donald Trump is manipulated through flattery and favor. And this is exactly what this guy thrives on. I've never seen a cabinet heap so much praise onto the president in my entire life. And Donald Trump sits back there and suck it up like some child. But don't take my word for it. Listen to what his cabinet is saying about him and watch the expression on Donald Trump's face.
So if you go step by step, aero and commercial planes, they sell Rolls-Royce engines to Boeing. We've agreed to let Rolls-Royce engines and those kind of plane parts to come over tariff-free. And what you're going to hear today is there's going to be an announcement in the UK that they are buying $10 billion worth of Boeing planes later today, but I'm going to let the name of the airline announce it because that's theirs to do it. Part of this deal was always to do it together and to do it strong, and you can see the numbers on this board. Everything about this board works exceptionally well for the United States of America. It lays out the plan that you can work with us in autos, you can work with us with aero and commercial, you can work with us in pharmaceuticals if you have a supply chain that is secure and protected in national security. So we feel really good about the deal. You've heard the Prime Minister, he feels really good about the deal, right? And we started at 10% and we ended at 10%. And the market for America is better. And this is a perfect example of why Donald Trump produced Liberation Day. People don't understand he gets things done in a matter of time. This would have taken Jameson and I 3 years, maybe. And instead, we got it done in 45 days, certainly because we work for Donald Trump. So Jameson, my partner in all this, maybe Jameson, you'd like to talk a little, and then we'll turn it over to the UK.
That guy that was just speaking was Donald Trump's Commerce Secretary. He was the guy who made waves a few weeks ago stating that if you was to cut off Social Security checks, the people who complain are the fraudsters, those the ones who are receiving Social Security illegally. He also said that if his mother-in-law didn't get a Social Security check, she wouldn't complain. She would think a mistake had happened, and it'll make it up, you know, next month. You know, this is the guy he's worth about $3 or $4 billion. So of course your mother-in-law wouldn't worry. She got a billionaire for a son-in-law. And for him to sit up here and talk about how Donald Trump gets it done, I would love to see proof of that, because see, I don't believe Lipstick filed bankruptcy 6 times operating his personal business. I don't think this guy bankrupt several companies, but Donald Trump has done all these things. And now all of a sudden, now that he's president of the United States, now all of a sudden everything that Donald Trump couldn't do in his private life, no resume of success whatsoever, now he can do. I don't understand it. Not one bit. And Donald Trump's sitting back there heaping the praises like he actually believes this. You know, they were saying that Donald Trump was bankrupt before he ran for office in this year. He was bankrupt just a few months ago. And now all of a sudden, he's the man that can accomplish everything. But let's listen to more of this phony praise that this guy don't deserve. Watch this.
Everyone has great remarks. I just have to echo the President and the Prime Minister when we talk about VE Day. This is something we've been waiting for decades, and there's no more appropriate day to do this. And when we step back and we look back a few weeks from now, or months from now, or years from now, we'll look back at this day and better appreciate the significance, I think. And I'll just say as well, in terms of negotiating, I mean, UK negotiators, you know, we've got one right here, did an incredible job, right? This is why you win wars, right? When you act like this, and the ambassador, he knows more about trade than a lot of us here, based on his background. And I would say on this deal, Mr. President, what we've shown is that it is time to change the way we do trade. People said we couldn't do a global tariff, we did a global tariff. They said no one would want to deal with us, people want to deal. They said no one would give offers. You saw that stack of offers I showed you yesterday, all those countries. Said we wouldn't get deals, and here we are with the deal with the 6th largest economy. We've agreed to have fair and reciprocal trade, and we've done it in record time.
Thank you.
Sir.
Great job.
Thanks.
You know, a couple of things come to my mind. Maybe I'm just being petty. But it's strange to me that Donald Trump's Commerce Secretary can sit up here on national TV and announce that if he was negotiating this deal, it would have taken him 3 years, maybe, to pull it off. And Donald Trump did it in 45 days. It makes me wonder, if your Commerce Secretary couldn't see himself doing this deal within 3 years based on his intellect, on his experience and his knowledge, and Donald Trump did it in 45 days, why would you elect this guy as your Commerce Secretary then? 45 days, that's a little bit over a month. And this guy saying that he couldn't have did this deal in 3 years, and he's the Commerce Secretary? That makes no sense. And then this guy on the other side talking about international trade is being reshaped by Donald Trump. A man who filed bankruptcy 6 times, bankrupt several businesses, cheated on every wife that he ever had children outside of his marriage, guilty of found liable for sexual assault. This is the guy that's going to reshape the global trade market? And when you say, this is, if I didn't see this with my own eyes, I would not believe it. But let's continue.
Well, Mr. President, thank you very much indeed in hosting us this morning. And thank you very much indeed also for that very typical 11th hour intervention by you with your phone call to the President, demanding even more out of this deal than any of us expected. So thank you for that. The Prime Minister was delighted, obviously, to take that call late at night. But you took it to another level, and I think the point I would make is twofold. One is that if we're going to rebalance and rebuild international trade in a way that serves all our interests, then we're better doing that together than separately and apart, and that's what we're on a mission to do. But secondly, you've done what you said you would do. You said to the Prime Minister when he came and we visited in the Oval that you would do a good trade deal with the United Kingdom, that you would do it at pace, and that we would be first. And you have delivered that. You know, you've been true to your word. So thank you very much indeed for that. For us, it's not the end. It's it's the end just of the beginning. I mean, there is yet more we can do in reducing tariffs and trade barriers so as to open up our markets to each other even more than we're agreeing to do today. But it also provides us with the platform, the springboard, to do what I think will be even more valuable for both our countries in the future, and that's creating a technology partnership between the United States and the United Kingdom, so that we can harness science and technology in order to create future industries and future jobs, and to do that together in the way we work so closely already in the national security and defense area, we can just take that to yet further areas of science, enterprise and endeavour. So we're looking forward to doing that in the coming months. You've launched us extremely well today. It just, in my view, as the Prime Minister has said, just shows what two countries who trust each other, who are confident in each other and are familiar with each other can do, not just for ourselves, but for those, the rest of the world, who need to benefit from a bigger and better international trading system.
Thank you very much. It was beautifully stated.
You know, let me apologize for the length of this video. I want to get this video the context in which it deserves. I don't want people sitting up here saying that I just don't like Donald Trump and I'm going to criticize him. But the fact of the matter is, I don't like Donald Trump. He's a fat liar, and I'm going to demonstrate that in this video right here. This is why it's going as long as it is. Here's the president of the UK. He just said that he wants to thank Donald Trump for his typical 11th hour phone call demanding more out of the deal than what was previously negotiated. And whoever Donald Trump called in the middle of the night agreed to it. How this deal got done in 45 days as opposed to the 3 years that his Commerce Secretary said it would have normally taken is beyond me. How do you negotiate with a team that settles on an agreement, an amount between these two countries, and then you get this idiot calling at the 11th hour, changing the parameters? So all the work that these people have put in, all the negotiating that they've been talking about, was all thrown out the window just because Donald Trump called up in the middle of the night and changed it. That don't make no sense whatsoever. Why wasn't your team, Donald Trump, informed and coached before y'all go into the negotiation so everybody be on the same page? Who negotiates in the 11th hour in the first place? Am I being petty or what? Am I justified? And listen to Donald Trump. Like I said, please keep your eye on this guy when these people are heaping these praises on him. He just looks pathetic. But listen to Donald Trump.
Really stated. What a beautiful excerpt. I'd like to have that excerpt. Thank you. My mother would be proud. Thank you very much. Any questions?
James Matthews from Sky News.
Yes.
Can I ask, why Britain and why now? And you describe this deal as a full and comprehensive deal, and yet it just happened, Mr. Martin said it's the end of the beginning. Clearly, there's much more work still to do.
Yeah.
With respect, are you overstating the reach and significance of this deal because you're a president who needs a result at a difficult time?
I think that it's a great deal for both parties. It's for us. We're opened up. I didn't know how closed it was. Quite closed, the market, as you know, the UK, and it opens up a tremendous market for us, and it works out very well, and a lot of assets. You see the chart, and those are tremendous assets. But we've been trying, and when you say why us, meaning your country, we've been trying for years, and they've been trying for years to make a deal, including when I was in the first term. It would always be people talking, but they weren't getting it done. But for 25 years before that, they were trying always to make a deal, a very significant deal. I actually, until I looked at the numbers, I didn't realize this is a very conclusive deal, but we think we can grow it even from that. But this is a maxed out deal, not like you said it. You said it really incorrectly. This is a maxed out deal that we're going to make bigger, and we make it bigger through growth. But we have tremendous assets involved. I was surprised to see how big your country is in trade. Actually, one of the biggest in technology and so many other things. It's agriculture. I really didn't know. It's depending on your definition, it's from 4 to 5 to 6. That's pretty big in the world. So I was very impressed by that. But we're going to take it to new levels. It's a very big deal right now, but I think it is going to grow just of its own volition. It's going to grow, and over time there'll be changes made, there'll be adjustments made because we're flexible. We'll see things that we can do even better. But it's very conclusive, and we think everyone's going to be happy, and the people of your country are going to be very impressed with the result, and they'll be able to buy from more people. They'll be able to price things differently. They'll be able to get some products that aren't available to them now that we make better than anybody in the world. And it's just something that it's a great thing that it came together. It's so nice because we have many countries want to make a deal, and many countries are very unhappy that we happen to choose this one, to be honest with you. But long time, our oldest ally, or just about. I guess a couple of people claim that too, but let's put it right at the top. I think it's going to be something very special for UK and special for the United States.
That's your great negotiator. That's your great deal maker. We got a max deal, but it can get bigger. How? You know, Donald Trump didn't speak nowhere near like you would think a businessman would speak. No numbers, no percentages, no dates, no nothing. Just listen to him ramble like that, incoherently. How did this guy call anybody in the middle of the night and listen to this and then scrap what the professionals are saying and then follow his lead? Make that make sense. Like I say, do you believe Donald Trump is the master deal maker like he say he is, or am I just being petty and not trusting and believing in this guy? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Ashe.